Imagine if your most trusted sources, your doctor, your lawyer, your teacher, couldn't agree on basic facts. That's exactly what's happening with the most advanced AI models today. A new study published just 3 days ago shows that leading large language models like GPT-5, Llama 3, and others often give conflicting answers to real-world questions. For example, when asked about the cause of the 2020 wildfires in Australia, one model blamed climate change, while another pointed to human error. This isn't just a minor disagreement, it's a serious problem that could affect everything from medical advice to legal decisions. But here's the twist nobody expected. These models aren't wrong, they're just interpreting the same information differently. And here's where it gets interesting. To understand why AI models disagree, we need to look at how they learn. These models are trained on massive amounts of text from the internet, books, and other sources. But the internet isn't a perfect place. It's full of conflicting information, biases, and incomplete data. When an AI model is trained on this messy data, it's like teaching a child from different textbooks that all say slightly different things. The model doesn't know which source to trust, so it ends up with multiple possible answers. This is why two models can give different answers to the same question. And here's what most people miss. The problem isn't just the data, it's also how the models are trained. Some models prioritize accuracy, while others prioritize speed or creativity. This creates a situation where the same question can lead to wildly different answers. But here's what the headlines aren't telling you. Let's take a closer look at how AI models process information. When you ask a model a question, it doesn't just search for the answer, it generates it based on patterns it learned during training. Think of it like a detective solving a mystery using clues from different books. If those books contradict each other, the detective might not know which clue to follow. This is exactly what happens inside an AI model. For instance, if a model is asked about the population of a country, it might generate an answer based on a source that's outdated or incorrect. This doesn't mean the model is broken, it just means it's reflecting the flaws in the data it was trained on. And here's the part most people overlook entirely. Let's look at some real-world examples of AI models disagreeing on facts. One study asked models about the cause of the 2020 wildfires in Australia. One model blamed climate change, another pointed to human error, and a third said it was a combination of both. Another example involved a question about the effectiveness of a specific cancer treatment. One model said it was highly effective, while another said the evidence was inconclusive. These differences aren't just academic, they can have real-world consequences. If a patient relies on an AI model for medical advice, they could be misled by conflicting information. And this is where things get surprising. To see how different models handle the same question, let's compare two models, GPT-5 and Llama 3. Both were asked about the population of Japan in 2025. GPT-5 gave a precise answer of 126 million, while Llama 3 said it was around 125 million. The difference of 1 million people might seem small, but in the context of AI models, it's significant. Another question asked about the inventor of the internet. GPT-5 correctly named Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn, while Llama 3 incorrectly attributed it to Tim Berners-Lee. These differences highlight the variability in how models interpret and process information. And this is where the real story starts. The implications of AI models disagreeing on real-world facts are huge. For users, this means that relying on AI for critical decisions, like medical advice, legal guidance, or financial planning, could be risky. If two models give conflicting answers, how do you know which one to trust? This also raises questions about the reliability of AI in fields like journalism, where accuracy is essential. Imagine a news article written by an AI that quotes conflicting sources, leading to misinformation. This is why the study's findings are so important. They show that AI models aren't as consistent or reliable as we might think. And this is what nobody predicted. If you're using AI models for important decisions, here's how to spot disagreements and what to do. First, always cross-check AI answers with multiple sources, not just other AI models, but real-world data, books, or expert opinions. Second, be aware of the model's training data and how it might influence its answers. Third, use AI as a tool, not a final authority. If you're using AI for medical or legal advice, always consult a professional. Finally, stay informed about the latest research on AI reliability. The more you understand how AI models work, the better you can use them wisely. And here's the thing that changes everything. As we look to the future of AI, one thing is clear: trust is going to be a major issue. If AI models can't agree on basic facts, how can we trust them to make important decisions? This study is a wake-up call for both developers and users. Developers need to find ways to improve the consistency and accuracy of AI models. Users need to be more cautious and critical when relying on AI. The good news is that this problem isn't unsolvable. It's just a challenge that we need to address head-on. The key is to keep pushing for better training data, more transparent models, and a culture of verification and cross-checking. And this is what we need to keep in mind as AI continues to shape our world.